Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. It's been a long time. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all staying safe. And most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. It's been a hot minute, and first of all, before we get into the video proper, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who sent out well wishes for not only me, but my family as well, as we've gone through this little bit of, troubling time. For those who don't know, I've been in hospital with pneumonia along with my daughter, my son. My wife's the only one that has escaped. She's been an absolute champ looking after the three of us. Hence why there's not been a lot of content up on the channel. But today we're going to do a quick little one because I want to talk about Warhammer, the Old World Orcs, Bretonnians, Tomb Kings, and talk about some rumours we've got going around for Warhammer, the Old World as well. Now, this is the first Old World article we've had in quite some time. In fact, I think it's the first Old World article we've had since we had the one talking about Warhammer Total War and the collaboration between the people making that and indeed the people who write Warhammer the Old World and how we got Cathay and stuff in that. I think that was the last one. Maybe there was one after, but it's been a hot minute since we've seen something for Warhammer the Old World. And today, what they're going to show us is they're going to show us some artwork. So it's an old game, but we're going to get some old artwork, or rather some new artwork, but done in this old style. We can see, straight here with the Bretonnian peasant archer, really has that old world sort of look to it. It's definitely not got that more high fantasy style, despite Warhammer Fantasy still being a high fantasy setting. Come at me with all those takes about how it's not, but it is. Seeing some cool artwork and sort of keeping with that sort of grimmer sort of look than what we maybe see in some of the Age of Sigmar and more modern Warhammer 40k artwork. So the Peasant Archer is one mentioned, and a lot of people will be happy. Straight away, the first one in this is a Bretonnian miniature. But then it gets even better as we get a Tomb King chariot shown. The Tomb Kings of Khemri, really showing that, this is going to be something that includes all of the factions of the world. Obviously, I think the only thing we've started to not see now are things like Lizardmen, the only ones, but if we've got Tomb Kings, we're not that far off Southlands and getting some Lizardmen in. Be really interested to see. This is in, Cetra the Imperishables colours here, which is really cool. And then we got, a Bretonnian knight as well. This one in the black and red of Duke Gastile, which is really, really cool. Just so much cool stuff here. Bears white axe of Brion. There's a lot to take in, but I like that they've gone with, this more classical style art. It's not, like traditional Warhammer Fantasy style art. This definitely reminds me of stuff I've sort of seen in the Warhammer Fantasy RPGs by Cubicle 7. It definitely is sort of the same style of artwork there. We also get a look at a cool Orc Boar Boy as well. Just really nice savage looking miniature, or rather artwork. Really bring to life what was, one of my favourite units to see on the tabletop in Warhammer Fantasy. Now, we then got a new map update, which is really cool. And we've got, a little bit added to it. We didn't have all this stuff here in the Border Princes sort of added. Obviously, this is the Badlands here. Blood of the Badlands campaign takes clear. We start seeing, more of the Plain of Zar. We can see more Kislev sort of icons being added. And we've also got, like high elf ships and what looks like a pirate ship down here could be Drukari. We know they sort of fleet around there. But it's definitely, starting to take shape. We're adding more icons into it. We're really starting to fill out the map. My favourite part here, Athelloren. But definitely a really cool thing to see is like the map. And of course, like they're talking about more to come. There's not a lot of stuff in this article. It's showing artwork. It's showing, some things. Now, the rumours I want to talk about today as well are apparently the reason we've seen these three particular armies with artwork is because their models have actually gone back into production. GW didn't just dispose of those plastic kits. They've got the molds for them sitting there. They've got mass production molds. There's no way they would have wrote them off. And apparently, we've seen Bretonnians, Tomb Kings, and a lot of the Orcs and Goblins range all go back into production, along with various other kits that are no longer in production. So you would expect, things like maybe Wood Elf Glade Guard, maybe a bit of the High Elf range, and stuff like that. which would be really interesting. I think, you know, that is probably, for me, the smartest way to launch the game is to bring back a bunch of the old kits. We've obviously already got, you know, Dark Elves pretty much in their entirety plastic-wise, thanks to Cities of Sigmar. Same with Empire and Dwarves. They definitely got a large majority. Even Wood Elves have a large majority of their kits still available. But I definitely think, you know, bring back the plastic kits, sort of fleshing out the armies with the old plastic kits. And if we're going to see new miniatures, maybe, you know, some new heroes replacing the ones that have, you know, metal models, you know, like all the Wood Elf Lords and Glade Lords and Dark Elf Lords and all those sort of ones, I think are where we maybe update first. Rather than updating the plastic kits first, give us some new cool character miniatures. Now this leads to a couple of interesting things. First of all, like, how big is the scope of Warhammer the Old World going to be? Like I said, down in the map here, we've definitely started seeing, you know, more expansive areas. We've seen things like High Elves. We know it's in a different time setting, which is really cool. I think there's just a lot to come from this. I'm really, really excited for Old World. They're putting back, you know, those kits into production. There's also, I didn't notice that there's a Wood Elf symbol up in the top of the Empire there. Cool. But yeah, I think, you know, it's probably the best way to start. Apparently, rumours are this may drop next year. We may see Warhammer Fantasy next year. It is the 40th birthday of Warhammer Fantasy next year. If you want to see old world content, you want to see Warhammer Fantasy battles on the channel, drop us a comment down below. Let us know what you think. I'd love to hear from everyone. Feels good to be back at the computer again, finally chatting Warhammer, chatting Wargaming with everyone. But yeah, what do you think of the old world? What are you most excited for? What do you want? What do you not want from this? Let us know in the comments below. Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And also drop us a comment down below letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come and chat more with me and other members of our community here at Cinderful Gaming, you can do so on our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description. If you'd like to help support the channel more, you can do so either by Patreon or YouTube members or going to our Teespring store, all of which are linked down in the video's description as well. As a special thank you to our patrons and YouTube members, we'd like to give you all a shout out. So, a special Patreon shout out to Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lyle, Aaron Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cader, Derek Bloobs, Benjamin Suarez, and Red Martin. And as thank you to our YouTube members as well: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Ronya, Loch Lorick, The Johnny 84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink, Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, and Davis Wire. Special thanks also to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you see on the channel, like you can see pictured here on this slide. Thank you once again for watching, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.